Hey there everyone, Hanyou here. Welcome back to Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. At the end of the last episode, I overheated. I was out of breath, I was getting starting to get tingly all over, you know, like when your arm is asleep or leg is asleep and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm fine though. But I just wanted to let you guys know that. So I do have a couple bottles of water with me and stuff like that to prevent such a thing from happening again. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into it where we left off. And yeah, this should also be the class trial. Because I don't think there's much left before the class trial. So carrying on. Let's see. Along with the doorknob matter, there are still many mysteries surrounding this that we don't understand. If we go to Strawberry Tower, we might be able to solve some of these mysteries, maybe.
Jeez, you're pathetic.
Looks like that's all we can do. Let's head over. You're right. What Nagito said about the door opening, what is he planning to do about the chain? Well, if I'm right, that won't matter. Looks like it won't come off easily, so does Nagito have a plan or something? Jeez, I don't understand this at all. Alright, well, let's head on over and figure this shit out. How you doing, Akane?
Damn it.
I can't do anything. I never paid him back. I can't even stop Nekomaru from being used as evidence. I missed that. Thanks to Kazuichi, the elevator is working now. Alright, let's go. We walked into the elevator and made our way to Strawberry House.
What's up?
God damn it. It's been a while since I've come to Strawberry House. Hey, you're here.
Hey.
Kazuichi, how'd the repairs go? Yeah, well, the damage wasn't too bad since I got the parts, so I was able to fix it right away.
You?
Got a lot of nerve set in that when you use Nekomaru's parts without my permission.
Hey!
Well, I mean, even so.
Now then.
Anyway, now that we're all here, why don't we hurry up and try it out? What will happen if you press the button to Strawberry Hall's door?
Even so.
But there's no way it'll open. You haven't done anything about the chain.
Hey!
The door to Strawberry Hall behind Nekomaru's body was blocked off by that chain, remember? If you don't do anything about that, it doesn't even matter if you fix the button on the outside. Well, we'll know if we try it out. It's not even worth trying it out. No, we've all come this far. If he's saying we should try it out, then we should give it a shot.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's do this. No way this door will open, not when the other side is chained up. With a feeling of resignation, I pressed the button. Huh?
Hey!
Why did it open? I just noticed we entered from Strawberry. We entered from Strawberry side, and yet it looks like we opened from Grape side.
Impossible!
Where did the chain go?
Hold it.
Hold on a sec. That's not the only thing that's strange. That's right. There's no other way to say it. This definitely looks weird.
So...
What do you mean, huh?
Hey!
Hey, doesn't this all look the same as when we were in Grape Tower? Yeah, you're right. When we were inside Grape Tower, Nekomaru's body was in front of the far back door. Which means his body should be in front of the door to Strawberry Hall. So if we entered from Strawberry Hall, his body should be right in front of the door as we walk in. So I was right. The tower is an elevator too. Right? Why isn't it like that? Why is Nekomaru's body in front of the door to Great Hall?
Hey, hey!
Not just that, the parts that I carefully arranged when I disassembled the body all moved too. Body isn't the only thing that moved, even the tipped over pillar and spilled oil. They all moved the exact same way. Crime scene looks identical to how we saw it when we entered from Great Hall. Everything that was at the crime scene inside Grape Tower shifted to the opposite side. As if it rotated 180 degrees, right? Can't imagine that the door actually that the floor actually rotated 180 degrees, but is this really what this means? Is that really what this means? No, it's more than that. I feel like there's an even greater mystery here. A mystery so great that it could drastically affect the outcome of the case. We might have to rethink this. We might need to fundamentally rethink how we've been approaching this case. Strange feeling in tower, added to truth bullets. Chain updated.
I see.
The chain disappeared. This strange feeling I felt when I went back and forth between the two towers. Yep, just as I thought, it was definitely the right choice to confirm this. Just as you thought, then you already knew about this mystery. You had a bad habit of relying on others when you don't understand. You have a bad habit of relying on others when you don't understand. Why don't you try investigating first?
See?
The door at the far back with the picture of a grape on it. Maybe there's a clue hidden there? There's a clue on that door. It's a door with a picture of grapes on it. And this should lead to Grape Hall. Wait, huh? One of the doorknobs is gone. It's just like the screws came out of it.
Now then.
It's the same as the doorknob that was on the floor.
See?
See, the screws came out of it. Came out with it, right? Then the doorknob next to Nekomaru's body came off the floor to Grape Hall. Came off the door to Grape Hall.
Well,
that's what it looks like. When you said clue, were you talking about this? But what is it a clue to? Broken doorknob has been updated.
what?
Huh, did you get even more confused? No need to worry, just one clue will change everything. Huh? All the mysteries will be solved as if everything were linked together if you can reach it. Just like I did. What does he mean? Even if I ask him, Nagito probably won't give me an answer. So it'll just be a waste of time to ask. And cue the trial.
It appears that it's time for the class trial! To tell you the truth, I'm tired. Extremely tired. I feel like spending the rest of my life hibernating already. Man, I know it's bad, but I'm so sleepy. I just want to ditch. Though I really don't feel like it, I'll show you my serious side when you come to the class trial. Even though it's impossible since it's so annoying, you can count on me to take this seriously.
Looks like it's going to start another class trial.
Hey, hey!
But how are we supposed to get to the trial ground?
Damn it!
You're right, we can't do anything unless we get out of this building. Kane, did something happen?
Hey, hey!
No. Well, do you guys hear something? Hear something?
Hey, hey!
What do you hear this time? Suddenly, as if cutting off Chiaki, our surroundings started to shake and rumble. And then it suddenly appeared before us. Well, damn! Okay, then. The hell? Is he telling us to go inside from here? Seems that way.
Right!
Alright, I'm gonna go. Just hold on, Nekomaru, I'll make sure I avenge you.
Jeez, you're pathetic.
Geez, at least be a little cautious. It's obviously a trap.
It appears you cannot escape.
I agree. I detect a scent of danger. Even my familiars are saying, do not go inside.
It's nearly showtime!
How interesting. If you can kill me, you're welcome to try. Try stabbing your sword through my very heart. Now then, shall we get moving as well?
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. It's annoying, but if Miss Sonia's going, there's no way I'm not gonna go.
Damn it!
But it's so damn annoying. I guess it doesn't matter if it's a trap or not. One by one, everyone went into Monokuma Rock. Until I was the only one left, and when I was about to take a step forward... We're the same. The same stepladders. Huh? Nagito was suddenly standing next to me with his eyes locked onto Monokuma Rock. Other than the small movements of his mouth, he was perfectly still.
Well.
You and I are just stepladders. For everyone who holds the title of Ultimate. I always believed that I didn't mind. Unlike you, I know my place. What are you saying?
Man.
That's why I was prepared to become a sacrifice at any time, and from that, true hope would be born. I always believed that the talent that survived would be true hope.
Damn it.
But it wasn't. There is no hope amidst all this killing. Of course there isn't. What kind of hope comes from killing people?
What?
Really? Are you suggesting that sacrificing others for hope isn't real hope? But you're wrong. It's only natural and extremely obvious that strong hope devours weak hope.
Isn't that right?
After all, that's what it means to live, right? There's no way I'm going to accept that.
Well...
Oh well, it's not like that's what I wanted to say to you anyway.
Hey.
There's this one novel I like. It's a peculiar mystery story. Huh? A novel? The story is told from the point of view of a high school girl involved in a serial killer mystery. But when you get to the end, surprise, surprise, the girl was actually the killer. Of course, the story is written carefully so the reader doesn't learn the ending in the middle of the story. The protagonist is just a projection of the reader, and this projection turns out to be the killer. Which means the killer you were looking for the whole time was inside you all along. How do you feel about novels like that? What the heck are you talking about? You're just jumping from one topic to another. And I can't comment on a book I've never read before.
No good at all.
Such a normal answer. I should have expected that from a talentless reserve course student like you. Good. But I know that you don't matter at all, so why do I care about you? You admire hope. I love hope.
Right?
In some ways we're similar, but maybe that difference is what's making me so emotional. Enough already. I don't have time to argue with you. Let's go. Everyone is waiting. Everyone, huh? So you still believe you're just like everyone else. Reserve course students are so full of themselves. And you're still crazy as ever, Nagito. Nagito's chilling laugh continued as he disappeared into Monokuma Rock. Calm down. That's right, I need to calm down. I took several deep breaths, and once my nerves had settled, I stepped into Monokuma Rock. The elevator shook violently as it descended at an ever-increasing speed. When we're in a normal elevator that shakes this bad, it reminds me of how efficient that elevator in the funhouse was.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. The elevator continued to shake. It descended deeper and deeper, and suddenly, it stopped like it always does. And the door opened. Okay, this is a really weird courtroom. I get it, considering the whole funhouse theme of this whole thing that's been going on, but still. I understand your desire to applaud this wonderfully vulgar trial ground.
Yahoo!
But it's so exhausting to discuss useless things, so let's just get on with it already. It's so sad. My chest hurts. Forcing everyone to do this is so sad.
Hey, come on now.
Hey, don't go talking without permission after I've said my catchphrase.
Now I'm really angry.
Otherwise, I'll roll a dice, and based on the result, I'll give you a sex change operation that many times. What an extreme punishment.
Now then.
Now then, let's get on with it once again. Let's get a move on, boys and girls. And so it begins. I hoped this would never happen again, so now it's happening for the 4th time. The curtain to the 4th class trial was about to open. Nekomaru Nidai, the ultimate team manager. He was more passionate, more daring, more honest than anyone I'd ever met. Truly, he was more man than any of us. He sacrificed his body to protect Akane, and his appearance changed drastically because of that. But he still tried to live earnestly. And just when I finally got used to his new form, Nekomaru's killer is one of us. Killing someone because it's the only way to survive is no excuse. I won't let this be excused. I won't forgive this. The person who betrayed Nekomaru, who betrayed their friends. I will never, ever forgive them. You know what I'm thinking? What if Nekomaru beat the killing game? Found out that maybe that the tower wasn't actually what we thought it was, and he was trying to escape, and in doing so he accidentally killed himself. I'm very curious about that, since, you know, that has been following a very similar trend to the first game, and which would mean, and the statue of Sakura being in Grape House kind of is a bit of a hint that not all is as it seems for this trial. So we'll find out, I guess, won't we? I will never ever forgive them. And so, this life-threatening trial billowing with hope and despair has begun. Yes. Let's see, what do I got? Do I have anything? Reduces your aiming speed, effective during... Increases your aiming speed. Trigger happy. Decreases delay between firing truth bullets, effective during non-stop debate in the rebuttal showdown. Increases the speed of memorizing a statement. That's actually seems very useful. Increases jumping power, effective during logic drive. Yeah, why not? Alright, so we'll add these skills to the, okay. Add that, and add that. Alright, let's go. Finish preparations. We're good. Let's do this. Class trial time.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
I don't know why you need to do this every time, Monokuma.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it.
If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. I'm sure you guys are starving by now, but let's get revved up and raring to go!
Alright.
Whoever survives will be treated to a fancy lunch. Guess what? Rabbit curry is on the menu.
Huh.
Huh? I'm not the main ingredient, right?
I'm here today because Coach Nekomaru risked his life to protect me. I'm gonna be the one who avenges him. I'll definitely find out who the killer is. I'm definitely not tempted by curry. Got it?
Akane, you seem to have an impressive amount of drool flowing from your mouth.
Hey, why don't we try going over the incident? We weren't able to leave Strawberry House, so I want to make sure we get a detailed understanding.
I discovered Nekomaru's body a little before 7 a.m.
But what if it wasn't 7 a.m.?
I headed over to Grape Tower from Monokuma Taichi and found the body there. Hajime and Chiaki were also with me.
Hajime was with Miss Sonia and Chiaki that early in the morning? Don't tell me you three were together since last night!
Imbecile! I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Of course you're not. You're much classier than that.
With legs like those, I could probably do the splits real easy.
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor of Grape House and went to the tower together.
And then, the three of us discovered Nekomaru's body.
The body discovery announcement was made soon after. Akane heard that and rushed over.
We heard the body discovery announcement too, from Strawberry House, obviously. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall. But someone even broke Strawberry Hall's door button. We couldn't go anywhere because of that.
Thinking we should at least find some method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
Forget these boring intros. Let's talk about the killer. Anyway, it's definitely someone from Strawberry House.
What do you mean, definitely?
There's no way a chick would kill someone so cruelly. So it must be one of you Strawberry House dudes. One of you better hurry up and confess, or I'll break all of you in half!
I get it. You're pissed. I don't blame you. I'm pissed too.
You're the cruelest one here!
Now, enough with the lovers' quarrel. We need to think about this seriously. We don't have the luxury of discussing irrelevant things. The incident this time has many questions.
That is correct.
The incident notwithstanding, I also have many questions.
Then let's start with something even Miss Sonia can understand. The weapon. Well, the weapon is obvious, right?
Not exactly.
What the heck, you guys? The weapon! You could totally tell just by looking.
It wouldn't, you can tell what the weapon is just by looking. It wouldn't be much of a mystery if that were true. The only thing at the crime scene that looked like a weapon was probably... I'm gonna say it's the pillar, because the pillar is the one that had oil on it.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime!
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him! Damn it!
Yeah, but it wasn't.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime!
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer!
It wasn't the hammer,
The killer used
though.
that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
No, that's wrong!
Because the hammer was like brand new and had no oil on it whatsoever.
I can't accept that that hammer was the murder weapon.
Why not? Why can't you accept it?
A lot of oil was flowing from Nekomaru's body. Just like human blood, right? If the hammer was used to beat Nekomaru, you'd expect some oil to be on it at least.
But that hammer was clean. So that's why you can't accept that it's the murder weapon.
Correct.
Well, yeah, but the killer might have wiped off the oil later.
Why?
Well, obviously, to make the hammer look like it's not the murder weapon.
Then why bother cleaning the oil? If they didn't want it to look suspicious, they would have discarded the hammer.
You're pretty insightful, baby gangsta.
Baby gangsta?
Me?
Oh, that's funny.
Just so you all know, I was trying to test you guys. I thought
Sure you were.
maybe you guys mistook the hammer for the weapon or something.
It seems that was a waste of time.
Then what was the real weapon used to murder Nekomaru?
That's the problem. There wasn't anything else at the crime scene that looked like a potential weapon.
Then, how about we look at it from a different angle? If it doesn't have oil on it, it's not the weapon. So whatever has oil on it must be the weapon, right?
Correct. Actual weapon has oil on it, but if it's something at the crime scene that had oil on it, it's the broken pillar.
The only thing with oil on it is that broken pillar.
Then that pillar is the weapon! Coach Nekomaru got clobbered with that pillar!
Nobody could withstand a blow from that pillar. Even if you used 100% of your muscle strength, it would be impossible to wield it as a weapon.
Why?
We tried to move it, right?
Huff puff. It's no use, it's barely budging. Didn't I tell you?
Yeah, that pillar was pretty freaking heavy. But there's one dude who could have lifted that pillar.
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Nekomaru.
Coach Nekomaru's robot body! With that dude's super strength, lifting a pillar would be real easy.
So, he lifted the pillar, and then what? Did he use it to beat himself?
You mean Nekomaru killed himself?
Don't be stupid! He ain't the type to commit suicide!
Then even if Nekomaru could have lifted that pillar, it has nothing to do with the case at all.
Well, I guess you're right.
What the heck?
But it does bother me a little. The word suicide. Fourth murder of the killing school life was apparently ruled a suicide. Huh? No, that shouldn't matter. There's no way Nekomaru would commit suicide.
But that's a problem. If it's not the pillar, then there's no other weapon we can think of.
There may be a way to use the pillar as a weapon without lifting it.
Huh? For reals?
Yep, knocking it down with the hammer.
Yes, for reals.
I see. So my gut was right after all. All right, it's up to you, Sonia. Prove that pillar was the murder weapon.
Understood. Then I shall give it my all. Sonia, here I go!
Okay.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
The killer murdered Nekomaru by tipping over the pillar. Is that really it?
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over.
Considering the pillar's weight,
Okay.
it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
Yeah.
There's no need to lift.
If the pillar was beating him with it is...
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head
God
and
damn it,
bullseye.
I missed
Even
that
I
again.
could. Considering it probably exerted it.
Sonia, I'm getting hella excited!
There's no need to lift that.
If the pillar was beating him with it is...
What about tipping the pillar over?
No,
There
that's
we
wrong.
go.
If Nekomaru was crushed by the pillar, then there should have been fragments on top of his body.
Huh? Fragments?
The pillar fragments were scattered beneath Nekomaru's body, but there weren't any on top of his body. If the pillar had been tipped over and crushed him, the fragments should have been on top of his body instead.
I briefly considered that too. But it's probably not what happened.
I see. That was entirely my bad.
If they didn't tip it over, then how did the killer murder Nekomaru with that pillar?
How much longer are you gonna focus on the pillar? Just let it go already.
It's kind of a big thing, though.
There's no way I
Kazuichi.
can let it go. I'm positive that Nekomaru was killed by that pillar.
Why are you so certain about that?
I just have a feeling.
A feeling, huh? That's just your instincts.
But we can't say for sure that that instinct is wrong, can we?
Huh?
There's another way to use that pillar to kill. You guys just haven't noticed it.
Is that true?
Then I shall ask you, what way is that?
You guys, the same as usual. You're unable to clear a path to the future with your own powers, so you just stand there and falter. What a waste of talent. And you all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh.
What did you say?
Regardless, it's not like I want to die with the rest of you. So I guess I should lend a hand.
Hey, Nagito, what the hell happened to you? How come you're not talking like a lunatic anymore?
I've learned a valuable lesson. Ignorance is by far the greatest shame.
Huh? What do you mean?
Who cares? Just tell us how the pillar was used to kill.
Well, first of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be possible.
A specific item?
Of course, the ultimate weapon.
Ultimate weapon?
Isn't that the thing you get when you clear the final dead room?
So, Nagito knows what the ultimate weapon is?
I'm not sure he does, but
Of course I know, but I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it, you know?
We've seen it?
That's right. You've seen it clearly. Because I, the one who has claimed dominion over evil, am the ultimate weapon!
I hope no one actually believes him.
I am he who cuts the insolent catalyst which flows out from the chaos with the sword of victory. It's only fitting that I deserve to be called the ultimate weapon!
Except you're not.
No, you are far greater than the ultimate weapon, since you wield your 4 dark devas of destruction.
Oh boy, Sonia. I'm disappointed in you.
I see.
I don't know why, but I'm not liking this.
Cut the bullshit and say it clearly. What is the ultimate weapon?
In order to clarify that, we first need to solve the secret of the funhouse.
Huh? The secret of the funhouse?
You still don't realize it? Jeez, get it together. You're supposed to be the symbols of hope, aren't you? Ah, I forgot. Except for Hajime, of course.
Except for Hajime?
If we make it out of this, I'll explain it to you guys.
Anyway, we must first clarify the secret of the funhouse, right? Then I think it must have something to do with the structure of the funhouse.
Correct.
Strawberry House leads to Strawberry Tower, and Grape House leads to Grape Tower. But in actuality, they are both the same building, and both houses are linked to the central tower. It is undeniable that such a sweet building structure is the secret of the funhouse.
Man, not only does that make perfect sense, but Miss Sonia's beautiful voice is just so soothing.
Faux show! I shall leave this matter to your discretion.
Don't say that again, Sonia. Two houses are connected to the tower in the middle, but I thought that at first too, but I ended up finding proof that completely contradicts that. What?
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
No.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors.
Oh, I was wrong. Alright. I said that problem's already been settled.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
No,
Gotcha.
that's wrong!
Both of those towers, are they really the same place?
Why are you asking that now? Do you harbor a grudge because my kingdom destroyed your homeland?
What? I don't remember any of that. What?
Hajime, I won't tolerate any sort of rebellion.
I mean, doesn't it seem strange? When we went to Grape Tower from Grape Hall, Nekomaru's body was in front of the door to Strawberry Hall. But when we went to Strawberry Tower from Strawberry Hall, his body was in front of the door to Grape Hall.
It's probably some kind of trick, like the floor rotating 180 degrees or something. If it is, then see? That means it could have passed as the exact same place, right?
If so, then what? Do you seriously think such a simple answer is the correct answer?
Does that mean he's wrong?
That's exactly what it means.
Oops, I guess I've said too much.
If the floor didn't rotate, then that means we need to think about the structure of the building again.
Bow down!
Okay, fine.
Then how about this? Somebody moved Nekomaru's body.
Who? Seriously, Sonia? I'm very disappointed in you right now.
Well, we were moving from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, but we should have all been together during that time. Even if they tried to move the body inside the tower.
Then Monokuma did it.
Sonia, just stop. Please. Just no. Knock it off.
While we were moving, Monokuma quickly moved things around.
No. Just stop, please. You're gonna make a fool of yourself.
But Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved.
If it is too heavy to carry, let them roll it. Just like if there is no bread, let them eat cake.
Just stop, Sonia.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly wielding the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
On assumption there's no way I can understand what you're saying.
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear.
Nah, okay.
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear. The pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene? He could have moved it all, easy as pie! It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the pillar, the body, everything at the crime.
Allow me to cut through those words!
There we go.
Moving the body and pillar is possible, but it would have been impossible to move the oil on the floor.
Huh?
When the position of Nekomaru's body and the pillar changed, the oil surrounding his body moved too. Physically moving all of the oil like that is simply not possible, no matter how you look at it.
Then it's impossible to think it was moved.
I am terribly sorry. I cannot believe I got so fired up.
You're fine, Sonia. Ugh.
It's all right.
Even
A
though I'm a
fired
little
up Miss Sonia is awesome to watch.
Even though I'm a little disappointed in you, Sonia, you're fine.
So what really happened? Does that mean the two towers aren't the same building?
They are, sort of.
We can't be certain of that either.
Whoop, wrong button.
Not when the experiment involving the handbook I left on the tower floor was a complete success.
Yeah, the e-handbook was still there. That's why we thought the two towers were the same building.
If they're not the same building or two different buildings, then what are they?
No idea, huh?
This mystery ties into the secret of the funhouse. But we don't have enough clues to solve that mystery. Then the only thing we can do is rely on the one person who has those clues.
Hey, Nagito. I thought it would come to this. I knew my turn was coming up. Fine. I'll tell you guys a big hint that can help you solve the secret of the funhouse.
Give us the answer, not a friggin' hint.
But then it wouldn't mean anything. I need you guys to do this class trial properly. It's also important for me because it will help me determine something.
Determine? Is he talking about the traitor? If so, why did Nagito say that all of a sudden? Did something happen
But
to him?
how do we know your hint is any good? It's suspicious that you're the only one who knows it.
I have a good reason for that. The reason I'm the only one who knows it is because I was the only one who performed the appropriate action.
He performed the appropriate action in order to learn the secret. Could he be talking about the life-threatening game?
You're talking about the final dead room, right? You cleared the life-threatening game there and found something, didn't you?
That's right. The hint is what I saw after I cleared it. In the depths of the final dead room, there was a hidden room surrounded by concrete. And there, a small conspicuous window waited, all by itself. From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
Strange scenery?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster just to show you. At an opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final dead room.
You took a picture?
Yep.
Nagito grinned creepily as he retrieved a small digital camera from his inner pocket.
See? This is it.
As he said that, he showed us a peculiar picture.
Let me explain it to you again.
What?
I took this picture on the first floor of Strawberry House, from the secret room within the final dead room. But don't you think it's weird? If the funhouse's structure is what you guys have been thinking, Then there's lots of things that don't make sense in this picture, right?
Yeah. There's no other side on the other side to the tower. Lots of things that shouldn't make sense in this
Then let's
picture.
begin. Shall I call it thinking time?
What doesn't make sense in this picture?
Here!
If the structure of the funhouse is what we thought it was, Grape House and Strawberry House should link to the tower in the middle, which means if you're viewing the tower from Strawberry House, you should see Grape House behind it. But in this photo, I don't see anything behind the tower. No shadow, no shape, no Grape House at all.
I see. And is that it?
Nagito said there's lots of things that don't make sense in this photo, which means there are other contradictions in it. What doesn't make sense in this picture? The forest?
You said this photo was taken from the hidden room inside the final dead room, right? If that's the case, then that means it should have been taken from the first floor of Strawberry House.
Yeah, it should have been.
Then this is definitely strange. This photo doesn't look like it was taken from the first floor. The angles suggest it was taken from higher up.
Yep.
That's right. Good call. In summary, this is the truth contained in this photo. The first floor of Strawberry House is located in a high area, and Grape House is not behind the tower.
It's not? Are you saying that Grape House is merely an illusion spell cast by Monokuma's cursed eye?
No, he's saying Strawberry House is located on top of Grape House.
From this point on, do your own thinking. Now that you've finally met the same requirements as me, if you guys are truly symbols of hope, you can easily solve a simple mystery like this. It might be possible for Hajime to solve it too, even though he's just a normal high school student. Despite the fact that you don't have a real talent, you already know about the other clue.
The other clue? Is he talking about that one time? Why, hello there, Hajime. Nagito, why are you here? Because I showed up. You showed up? How did you even come here? Maybe I teleported.
You're referring to when you suddenly appeared on the second floor of Grape House, right?
I'm asking you just to be safe. At the time, where do you think I came from?
The top floor, right?
Such sharp eyes. So you realized it already?
Top floor. So the third floor?
Yep.
But the Monokuma Archive should be the only room on the third floor of Grape House.
What does it mean?
Was that thing just now another hint to figure out the mystery behind the funhouse's structure? Reason Nagito appeared on the third floor. Using the photo he took, I might be able to find the answer if I just think about it. Alright, let's do this. Ow. Okay, that hurt. Oh, come on, I had that one. They do exist, but they don't exist. Yeah, okay. They do exist, but they're not separate buildings. they're the same building. Ow. Yep, that was my fault. Horizontally, duh. No, vertically. I get those two confused sometimes.
It's all coming together! Got it. I know the secret of the funhouse.
Then let me hear it. What kind of answer will you give, I wonder?
Nagito, stop being a
In the
jerk.
picture Nagito took from Strawberry House, I didn't see Grape House at all. So where did Grape House go? There was only one possibility. It was in a position where it couldn't be seen from Strawberry House. Which means Strawberry House and Grape House are in the same building, but on different floors.
Same building, different floors?
Yep.
Then the two houses aren't two different 3-story buildings. They're actually one 6-story building?
If you think about it like that, based on Nagito's picture, it's clear where Strawberry House is located.
The floor's above Grape House.
I see! On top of Grape House. That's where Strawberry House is located.
Alright.
Because of that, the photo taken from the first floor of Strawberry House was at a high angle. Altogether, this means the first floor of Strawberry House is also the 4th floor above Grape House.
Oh, snap! I never expected that the two houses were connected vertically.
Will you stop talking like that, Sonia? It doesn't suit your character at all.
But what about the shape of the building? The two houses were completely different shapes.
Strawberry House is 4-sided, and Grape House is 6-sided, right?
It never occurred to us that they were the same building because it was structured with two different shapes. A quadrilateral and a hexagon, overlaid atop each other to misdirect how we would perceive them. And it worked, didn't it?
Yep.
Disregarding the tower, we fully believed the two houses were two separate, distinct buildings.
In order to conceal the unique design of the funhouse, Monokuma put us to sleep so we couldn't look at the outside of the building when he brought us to it.
You've just been Kuma'd!
Don't say that, Mono Man.
Don't you think a building full of so many surprises totally deserves to be called a fun house?
Then it's true? The building was really like that?
That's right! Those two houses exist on different floors in the same building!
Constructing a building like that on your own without my knowledge? How horrible!
Then what about the towers? Are they arranged vertically just like the houses?
Yeah, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower should have also been different floors inside the same building.
Except it wasn't, it's an elevator.
Just like Strawberry House was on top of Grape House. Strawberry Tower was also on top of Grape Tower.
However, if they're different floors within the same building, why was Nekomaru's body in both places?
Aw, your precious hammies don't know? But it's so simple! Alrighty then.
It is real simple.
I'll be the one who solves this mystery in a flash. Please watch me, Miss Sonia.
Oh, I see. Do whatever you like.
She doesn't care for him, does she?
I'll definitely make her watch me. I'm gonna stand out till she notices me. I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
No.
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
So which one was the fake body?
Shut up! Just pick one of them!
Dummy of Nekomaru's body existed. Does that mean the killer prepared it in advance? But is something like that even possible?
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash!
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy! Damn it! I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash!
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
No, that wasn't it. Alright.
Damn it!
Yeah, I get it. Just...
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash!
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy! Damn it! I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash!
Then hurry up, dumbass!
Come on.
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
I'm wondering if any of these actually work. Hold on.
I'm gonna solve this.
Then hurry up!
Yeah,
One of
yeah,
the bodies
Hold
was
on.
actually
I
a.
got an
You mean
idea.
a fake?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to...
You're magnificent!
No fair! You told.
So which one?
Shut up! Just pick one of them! I'm gonna solve this.
Then hurry up!
One of the bodies in one of the was actually a dummy!
God damn it.
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from...
You're magnificent!
No fair! You.
Rah.
So which one? Shut up! Just pick one of them! I'm gonna solve this.
Then hurry up!
One of the bodies was actually a dummy!
You mean a fake?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to...
You're magnificent!
No fair! You.
So which one?
Shut up! Just pick one of them! I'm gonna solve this.
Then hurry up!
One of the bodies was actually a dummy!
No, fine. I don't know.
Damn it! I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash!
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
Why?
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body.
Yes, you're right, but Nekomaru isn't... But technically Nekomaru isn't a machine. He's a mechanical organism. A magnetic field was unleashed at the time the meteorite landed. What meteorite? Causing a bizarre reaction from the machinery.
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash!
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
You mean a fake?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body.
I don't know anymore.
Damn it! I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash!
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
Okay, I have a feeling it's the doorknob.
I'm gonna solve
I'm just gonna fail
hurry
this
up!
one, aren't
One of
I?
the bodies was actually a.
You mean a fake?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body.
Yes, but the doorknob.
Damn it!
Yeah. Shut up. I failed.
We will never give up!
I don't know. It's never the Monokuma file. So I'm wondering if they're actually screwing with us this time.
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy. Damn it! I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
I don't know, I'm just shooting shooting everything at it now. I'm like, you know what?
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up,
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
You mean a fake?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body.
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
No, that's wrong!
That took way too long, just saying.
Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy. That can be proven by Kazuichi's account.
Huh? Me?
Remember? When we moved from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, we thought the body had moved. And that's when you said...
Not just that, the parts that I carefully arranged when I disassembled the body all moved too.
Right up until that moment, you were disassembling Nekomaru's body at Grape Tower, right? The killer couldn't have known how you'd take apart his body, so they couldn't have built a dummy.
Unless Kazuichi was the one who built the dummy, then it would be a different story.
Miss Sonia, that's a pretty harsh joke. You are joking, right?
It's alright. Kazuichi is not the killer. If he was, he wouldn't have fixed the elevator or the button in Strawberry Hall. It'd be much more convenient for the killer if it stayed broken.
I see. That is disappointing.
Disappointing? She really doesn't like you, Kazuichi.
I'm even more disappointed.
However, even if Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy, it's meaningless if we don't have the important answer.
The reason Nekomaru's body was in both towers, even though it was supposed to be on different floors.
Maybe it was simply moved?
The body moved to a different floor?
You can't think of a device like that? A device that moves things to different floors in the same building?
A device like that, a device that transports things. You really have to think about this that hard? I feel like I've seen that before. It's called an elevator. Try looking it up sometime. Alright, let's do this. Do you really, really need to think this hard on this? You're the one I want. Damn it. Hit the wrong button. Now I need an R. Elevator. Come on, R. No! Bastard.
I got it!
It took you too long.
You must be talking about an elevator.
What? Are you saying Nekomaru's body was transported using an elevator?
Where the hell is this elevator anyway?
It's the tower.
It's the tower itself.
There we go.
The inside of the tower is one big elevator. Which means the tower was designed so that the whole room goes up and down like an elevator. So whether you enter from Strawberry Hall or Grape Hall, it all leads to the same room, right?
So that's why we could only enter it from one side or the other.
Yep.
Now that you mention it, sometimes when I pressed the door button, it took a while for it to open.
I see. We were basically waiting for the room to arrive, just like an elevator.
Please hold on. If the inside of the whole tower ascends and descends like an elevator, then why is there a picture of a strawberry on the far back door when you enter from Grape Tower? And a picture of a grape on the far back door when you enter from Strawberry Tower?
Because those doors aren't taken with them. Taken with it.
If the room just moves up and down like an elevator, there's no reason for the doors to change.
Plus, after the incident, the far back door in Grape Tower had chains wrapped around it, right? But when we entered Strawberry Tower, those chains were gone.
Not just that, but if I remember correctly, even the doorknob was broken off.
There are too many strange things. Was that tower really an elevator?
When you see people and things, make sure you focus on the good parts instead of the bad.
What did you say?
So, let's put aside what's changed and focus our attention on what hasn't.
Why do we have to do that?
It's fine. Come on. What does everything that hasn't changed have in common?
Things that didn't change when we moved between the two towers. That includes the body, the pillar, and oil. We've been talking about that stuff. We've been talking about that stuff for a while now. There shouldn't be anything strange about them, not even the fact that they all moved with the elevator. The one thing all these things have in common, they were all on the floor.
I see! Is it safe to say that all the items on the floor didn't change?
And?
And?
Why did the picture on the far back door change? If you can figure that out, you'll have the answer. The reason is because that elevator has something unique about it.
Something unique about the elevator. Only the floor moves.
I see! So that's it. The elevator was designed so only the floor moved.
Only the floor moved?
Which means the whole room wasn't an elevator, only the floor was.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's why we saw different doors in each tower. Which means on the first floor of Grape Tower, the door on the far back wall had a strawberry design. And on the fourth floor, which was Strawberry Tower, a different door on the far back wall had a grape design.
Then, where do the different floors lead?
I want to say they lead outside, but they're probably just for show.
Just for show? Why was something like that necessary?
So we'd falsely believe that the doors were connected to where their picture signified. It was actually very effective. Because of that, we totally misunderstood the building's structure.
I don't get it. But I guess it means whoever designed this building had a totally twisted personality.
Well, you know, look who made it. I mean, he's sitting right over there in the big chair, so...
Did you hear that, mon ami?
Don't blame this on me. Take responsibility for yourself.
Then I'll take responsibility and gently caress you.
Wait, there's no way that's gonna happen. Stop with the tasteless jokes.
By the way, What does the chain on the far back door in Grape Tower mean?
It was probably wrapped there by the killer to keep us as far from Strawberry Tower as possible.
Why?
Because of that chain. You guys thought you couldn't enter there, right?
That's correct. Like you said, I could probably use these parts to repair that button, but seriously, hold on. Even if you do repair the button, what's going to happen to the chain on the other side of the door? Chain? The door that leads to Strawberry Hall has a chain wrapped around the doorknob. Even if you fix the button on the Strawberry Hall side, the door won't open as long as that chain is there. You don't need to worry about that at all. Huh?
The killer destroyed the Strawberry Hall button, so we'd stay away from Strawberry Tower. Everything was done to tamper with the evidence, so we wouldn't find out about the secret of the funhouse. The appearance of a body in the tower would contradict what we thought we knew about the building. In that situation, if we'd gone to Strawberry Tower, we'd have seen that contradiction firsthand. And using that as a clue, we might have discovered the truth. The truth that the two houses and the two towers are actually one complete vertical building.
I'm still trying to understand why the elevator would need to rotate. It's okay. Well, no, because it doesn't make any sense. Because then because unless the elevator actually went around the around the building while it was going down, it wouldn't make any sense. And that would be a very strange elevator. Kind of like an angled, like an elevator that goes like up at an angle instead of straight up and down. Which I guess would make sense. I've seen those before, but...
The killer wanted to keep us from learning that. That's why they made us stay away from Strawberry Tower.
They destroyed the button and wrapped a chain around the door just for that?
Would it really have inconvenienced the killer if we learned the true structure of the building?
It would have been a major inconvenience. After all, this funhouse is strongly connected to the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru.
Hold on. You're progressing much too quickly. There's still a contradiction concerning the building structure.
What a pain. It's fine already.
Gundam, please proceed.
You said earlier that Strawberry House and Grape House are connected vertically, right? If so, how does the contact elevator
so they're gonna go
supposedly
over it
transport
anyway,
us from one house to the other?
I see, now you mention it, I completely forgot about that matter.
If that elevator moves vertically, then when your back is facing the elevator, both towers should be on the same side. But does this reflect reality? Inside Grape House, Grape Hall is on your right when your back is to the elevator. And inside Strawberry House, Strawberry Hall is on your left when your back is to the elevator. Which means the houses are on exact opposite sides of the tower. Answer me, fiend! What does this mean?
What does this mean?
Sonia, please. Knock it off. I agree, what does this mean? Two houses are connected vertically. The positions of the tower should be exact the same on both sides. Back when I'm back facing the elevator in Grape House, tower is on my right. Back facing the elevator in Strawberry House, tower is on my left. How can I break this contradiction?
If the two houses are connected vertically.
The elevator should move.
Vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions.
Which means your reasoning...
It's clearly contradictory.
What's with this iron curtain of teamwork?
So Gundam and Sonia have matching arguments. It sounds like it makes sense, but is that really correct?
If the two houses are connected vertically.
The elevator should move.
Vertically, not horizontally.
No, that's wrong!
There we go.
The elevator wasn't just moving vertically. Isn't that right, Kazuichi?
Huh? Me?
Come on. You used the elevator while you were holding that compass Nagito gave you, right?
That. Yeah, it was pretty strange. From start to finish, somehow the compass needle rotated 180 degrees.
Rotated 180 degrees?
Meaning, as the elevator moved between the two houses, it also rotated 180 degrees. It
Yeah,
was
okay.
probably
That's
following the
pretty
building's
much
perimeter as it rotated to the other side.
That's pretty much exactly what I thought.
Which means the exit would be on the opposite side once you arrived at the other house, right?
And thanks to that, the tower we saw on our right side when we arrived at Grape House appeared on our left side when we were at Strawberry House.
An elevator that rotates while it moves. Is that even possible? It's like something from an amusement park.
Well, remember where we were when we got into this situation?
Well, a funhouse is an amusement park attraction, you know. And since the building doesn't really need to be structurally practical, it makes for some splendid fun.
That's not splendid at all. You're inhuman.
You say I'm inhuman, but I'm just a bear. So I was never human to begin with. I'm different from these lowly humans.
Yeah,
So we're done with
Monokuma.
the secret of the funhouse, right? Then let's start talking about the important stuff. What's the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru? And how'd they combine it with the pillar?
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what I found at the Octagon, you know.
What is the Octagon? I haven't heard about that yet.
Oh my... I can't believe I have to explain that now. As long as you know what an Octagon means, you can solve this simple mystery easily. I see!
If I recall, an octagon is a shape with 8 sides, right?
I didn't expect you to know that. For
Really?
a substitute reserve course student, you're quite knowledgeable.
It's... How does anyone not know what an octagon is? Basic geometry, people.
I guess I should continue listening. Where is the place befitting of the name Octagon?
Place befitting of the name Octagon. It's probably...
Crap! Crap!
Okay, no.
Here!
You're talking about the secret room surrounded by concrete in the depths of the final dead room.
Why is that place the Octagon?
You know how the 4-sided strawberry house is on top of the 6-sided grape house? If you cut a 4-sided shape out of a 6-sided one, you get 8 edges.
Oh.
It becomes an 8-sided shape.
Okay, that... I didn't think of that. Think about it that deeply.
That's basically the gist of it. The true identity of the Octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final dead room. In actuality, that place contained various weapons.
Then the ultimate weapon was there too?
That's a little different. I learned the true identity of the ultimate weapon at the Octagon.
Learned?
The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the Funhouse, which means the killer used the building structure as their weapon and killed Nekomaru. Like
Okay,
me,
you're
the
gonna have to
killer
explain that a bit.
probably realized the secret of the Funhouse from the scenery, and then thought of a way to kill making use of the building structure.
The funhouse itself is the weapon, so they killed using the building structure?
That's why the killer tried to keep us from learning the mystery of the building. But more importantly, using the building itself as a weapon? Such a spectacular crime. It truly deserves to be called the ultimate weapon.
The funhouse is the true identity of the ultimate weapon. What does this mean? How did the killer use that to murder Nekomaru? And who is the killer who did that?
Hiya!
Why, hello there. I thought of a new bad word to call Monomi. I can already tell I won't be pleased by this. Then let me say it right away. I'm ready to I'm already used to insults and slander. There's no way I'll get hurt by a mere word. Monomi is a serious... Stuffedly? That's much more straightforward than I expected. Stuffedly, huh? That's not it. That's not it at all. Stupid, fat, and ugly. The perfect jet stream attack incorporating all three of these would be, ta-da, Stuffedly. What? There's a fat hidden in there?
Okay, everyone, all together now! Monomi is a serious Stuffedly.
Well, okay then. Yes, save.
Hello. I hope your day is well. I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up. My heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back, so what attitude and go ahead with high energy. Yeehaw! But be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently.
Yep.
I never expected the funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon. Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
Nice way to bring us back in, Chiaki.
Is it really alright to accept a situation so easily?
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Nekomaru's murderer?
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I will sincerely retract that remark.
Retract?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder.
Thank you, Gundam.
Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Akane! You were drooling waterfalls?
Nagito, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or not.
Anyway, if the killer used the building's structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Nekomaru's cause of death, huh? He was horribly damaged as if he was beaten senseless with a blunt object. But if he was beaten with a blunt object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building structure. So what was Nekomaru's cause of death that also utilized the building structure? Falling? Oh! Yeah! That would also explain the pillar. And the broken handle. He was holding onto the handle when the elevator started. And then he fell, hit his head on the pillar, which would explain the oil on the pillar, and that's what broke the pillar.
I see! That's it. I think he might have died from falling.
Died from falling?
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That, I don't know yet.
Oh no! He was wrapped with the wire and there was a little loop on the wire. That was tied to the handle, so okay. I think I get it now. We'll see, but I'm pretty sure I have it.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method. Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
It might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
But I think I might be right.
But my gut is going crazy right now.
If Nekomaru died from falling, where did the killer shove Nekomaru from? If I'm going to reach the truth behind this incident, I need to solve that mystery next.
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Nekomaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on! Did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside.
No, that's
Gotcha.
wrong!
Oh no, that's not wrong, but...
That sensor should only work if something is moving. If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
Correct.
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from, yes?
That's what I was about to explain, before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Silence, pest!
Sonia, please. You're like a good girl who got caught up in a bad crowd. Seriously.
Now you're calling me a pest?
Way to create a drop inside the elevator while Nekomaru is inside it. Chiaki seems to have an idea, but what way could that be? The wire. Yep. There it is, too.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
Okay, well, I kind of wanted to agree with you. Even Hajime's not listening to me. How 100 meg is shocking. I'm serious though, there's a way to create the difference in elevation.
Crap!
Yeah, I know, I wanted to agree with
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
No.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
God damn it.
I agree with that. Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it? That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob...
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair.
That's right. He was suspended in midair.
Huh?
The killer tied up Nekomaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode, tied the tip of the wire into a knot, and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower. And suspended Nekomaru in midair.
That's right! He was so well hung! Kinda like...
You better not finish that sentence!
Yeah. Please don't.
The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Too easy.
Really?
So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that.
Why?
If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall? Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
That's fair, so let's see what we got.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a wire, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him up. There's no way they could do that. Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a wire, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him. There's no way they could do that.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own?
The hell are you even saying? Not the type of coward.
Crap!
Huh. It's no use, can't cut through Kazuichi's
What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
Allow me to cut through those words!
Yeah, and break.
What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode. Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why,
You would probably struggle.
if something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
And then, In order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Probably.
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
Claire didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because... In that case, I shall use my full power. Fierce roared Nekomaru put all of his power into grabbing the doorknob with both hands, but... Clatter, 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 clatter. Not yet. Here it comes, the incredible strength of 1 million horsepower. Gah! Oh wait, isn't it creaking? If you break off the doorknob, we'll be stuck in here. If that's really what it was, then that's the clue Nekomaru left for us to find.
I see. So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig. Isn't that right, Miss Sonia? If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so!
No, I believe you gave your all.
Hey! Why aren't you teasing me anymore?
She is... very weird.
This guy, he gets off on this!
Yeah, I think you're right.
So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down.
Tease me, don't tease me, love me, hate me, whatever. He'll take whatever attention he can get from her, won't he?
That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
Doesn't mean Nekomaru crashed straight into the floor. The moment Nekomaru fell to the floor, the only thing I could think of what happened to him was... he collided with the pillar.
I see!
When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally, the pillar!
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m., and if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible. Because even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed.
Somebody messed with all of our clocks except for Nekomaru's, because they couldn't mess with Nekomaru's clock, so they broke his hatch and his chest, so we wouldn't be able to find out the actual time, right? And you know, Monokuma himself said we all ditched Monokuma Tai Chi that morning.
How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know!
Another mystery I don't understand. Seriously, it's just one after another. But I can't choke up at a time like this. It's just a little more and I'll be able to reach the truth. There should definitely be a clue breaking through this contradiction.
We headed for Grape Tower. Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
Actually, wait,
That's
no,
gotta
no,
be it.
no. Radio clock. I know which one to use now.
We headed for Grape before 7 a.m.
But the alarm inside was set for 7.
Nekomaru died. His time of death and one of those must.
The killer they probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
No, that's wrong!
They messed with the other clocks instead.
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
This time-related contradiction, I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? Perhaps we've overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. Think. If I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. Okay, wasn't expecting that. The time in the building. Okay, that was cool. Didn't know I could do that. The building clocks. Ow. Okay. Question 3. Which house had the wrong time? Both houses. Nice.
It's all coming together! You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
That is correct.
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
She's right, that's the main problem. I need to clarify by how much the time was off after the killer messed with the clocks. That's definitely the next mystery. I'm going to reach the truth in one go. Fuyuhiko's account would be the obvious answer, right?
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be? In our time.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down?
If only I heard the sound when he fell. It would have been a great clue.
Or his scream.
He's not the type to let out a scream.
If only Nekomaru's alarm was loud enough, we would have heard it too.
You
There's no
did
point
hear
in
it,
saying that.
sort of.
If does not exist in this world.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be? In our time.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down?
If only I heard the sound when he fell.
We did.
I agree with that. That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Correct.
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane!
If that rumbling sound was we heard was at 5:30 a.m., it's like the answer was...
I see!
2 hours. It's off by 2 hours.
Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious. So they could lure out just Nekomaru.
Lure out only Nekomaru?
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right?
Correct.
From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Besides messing with the time, the killer also used a specific thing. If they're trying to lure out only Nekomaru, then that specific thing is...
I see!
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Grape Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early! He didn't even ask you yet!
Jeez, how outrageous. I honestly didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi. But it turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez! That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot, or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad!
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it! It's incorrect!
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Huh?
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
Nagito. It's whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time, right?
You're the only one! The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right! Nagito wasn't there! It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
Except, didn't he just learn the secret of the funhouse after the murder took place?
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
What room were you in? What room was Sonia in? Are the deluxe rooms the... No, because you didn't take a deluxe room. You took a one of the crappy rooms, didn't you? Something's off here. He couldn't?
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Huh?
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
I get for them, because they were in the deluxe rooms, insulated, they were insulated and stuff like that. But I swear Nagito wasn't in one of the deluxe room. No, wait. He's the ultimate lucky student. He was in one of the deluxe rooms, wasn't he?
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
The only people who didn't hear the rumbling noise were Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The secret is, what these three have in common? Could it be also the secret that points to the killer? Why Hangman's Gambit? Okay, too many freaking no.
I got it!
I personally preferred the other version of Hangman's Gambit, but whatever.
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
The guest rooms are divided by quality grade. The deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. Standard room may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent. Crummy rooms has severe airflow and draft problems.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise...
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation.
So wait, who was the other one staying in the deluxe room on the guy's side? Because that person came out. Because Nekomaru was staying in like the medium quality room, if I remember correctly. Or a low quality room. I can't remember exactly, but it's... I mean, just one of the three guys. It's not Fuyuhiko. Is it Gundam?
You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent?
Shut up.
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Oh, hold on a sec! Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Somehow I feel like I understand what Nagito means. The killer among us. Killer who murdered Nekomaru.
You're the only one!
I was right.
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you. When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Huh? Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Yeah, his explanation is that he's screwed.
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Me?
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Correct.
Even though Nekomaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
Oops.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room.
Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
Correct.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Hey, what are you doing? This ruckus. It's louder than the supreme ruler of the netherworld bellowing for a sacrifice. Don't go making all that noise so suddenly.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
So he went for the second best option.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
And I would have gotten away for it if it weren't for you meddling kids.
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
Huh?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
Is that your argument?
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Thank you, Fuyuhiko.
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence.
He says do not panic, and yet he looks fairly panicked.
At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And that's you were in the bathroom for a half hour. You constipated? Doubtful, considering the fact you haven't eaten for 2 days, but, you know, whatever. Just saying.
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it? At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Ah! You said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
The same way Nagito did.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
Not true.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing, which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Your assumption about our assumption being clearly wrong is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
It has. He's just extending his... He's just extending it unnecessarily at this point.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
That's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. Okay, I'm guessing I'm gonna need to grab it from this.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House...
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan
Got
to
it.
lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
Because that's not the only thing.
That elevator was the only means of travel between...
No, that's wrong!
Denied.
No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist!
Except it
Then
does.
why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Nagito. Where are you? There you are.
You're the only one! Nagito, you should know.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Nagito, why are you here? Because I showed up.
There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show off. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down, surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma archive, which is...
Meaning, the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
Oh, will you knock it off, Gundam?
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
What did you say? Don't make me angry! You wouldn't like me when I'm angry!
Really? A Hulk reference? Oh boy.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Christ,
I can't back
Gundam, you
down.
just...
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I can't back down! I already proved a secret passage exists.
Screw you, Gundam.
The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
In which case I shouldn't have to do the key which dwells in the light that will break through the darkness.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light! Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
Nah, alright.
Crap!
I don't actually have
Know the
no
limits of
idea
your
which...
own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
That wasn't it either.
Crap!
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion...
That wasn't it either.
Crap!
Damn it, that isn't it. I gotta cut back with the evidence that he went to the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom...
Allow me to cut through those words!
I just didn't understand the wording properly, I guess.
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body, the hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
They missed a word when they were voice acting that. They just said weren't in Funhouse, not weren't in the Funhouse.
The only place I can think of is the Octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
It seems this is the end. Normally we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case. But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
Hey, what are you...
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru.
You're stealing my thunder,
was
man.
probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties. But even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And, without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay?
Yeah, fine. Keep moving.
Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Hold on! What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
Correct. You're a coward.
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
Yeah.
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought, truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument, it was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
Well, you knock it off, Gundam. We know you're it. Just give up quietly, please.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
I guess I really don't want to admit it. I guess you really don't want to admit it. Then, just as you requested, I will provide an argument that will leave you no choice but to be persuaded.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! For the Tanaka Empire! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him so easily?
This is the end! Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you had the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Oh?
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
That's exactly what we're saying.
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Emissary of Evil, in accordance with our ancient contract, the time has come to lend me your aid. Pierce through Supernova Silver Fox Sandy. Ah, it pressed the button. Truly, this is the Skyline Lamentation art of the Demon Mouse. Soon the door of destiny shall open.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Nekomaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own 2 hands.
Okay, so we're still gonna do this anyway, huh? Yeah, alright. Okay. No, that's the same thing. Okay. There we go. Let's see. No? Okay. No, fine. Well, damn it. I fucking hit the wrong button. Or did time run out? Yes, I want to retry.
We will never give up!
Yeah. I don't need to see that refilling. Just, let's do this. Closing argument. Begin. Fuyuhiko can't sleep. And that happens. And that happens. Take that. Let's see. No. No. There we go. That. There we go. There we go.
Here's everything that happened in this case. Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House.
Yep.
Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there. With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's
Okay, I think about that sentence for a second. With the power of hamsters. Yeah. Granted,
this forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile.
Granted, they're hyper-intelligent hamsters, but still, with the power of hamsters.
From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret Octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending, and Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful, and placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob, but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that!
I'll believe it. It happened. I've honestly suspected him for a couple of the past ones too, but you know, whatever.
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure vote for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
I know I did terrible on one of these. Guess it must have been number 6. Okay, that's enough of that.
This result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please pull the lever! Oh, crap! I bit my tongue at the most important part!
I hate it when you bite my tongue. That really sucks. Guilty. All right. It'd be bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly. Judging from the results, you guys were correct once again. Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right, the one who killed the robotic Nekomaru is in the amazing funhouse. Was Gundam Tanaka.
Nice!
Yay, I said all that without biting my tongue.
Now then.
Now that we've decided who the killer is, let's do the execution already and get this over with. Hold on. It's true the class trial is finished, but that doesn't mean the incident is over. We can't finish yet until we hear it from Gundam.
Jeez.
No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. Well, I have no right to stop you either, so do whatever you like.
Fall, my tears.
Why do you want to talk to one Why do you want to talk to one who has lost? The loser merely leaves. It would just be unnecessary for me to say anything.
Listen well.
Is what I would like to say, but for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing. Correct.
How pitiful.
You guys said I made Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That, however, is a great mistake. Huh?
Fine.
Nekomaru did fight, there is no mistake. And because he fought, he lost and died.
Damn it!
Lost and died.
This, too, must be the will of
If he was just
causality.
trying to cling to life, there are many ways he could have done so. However, he did not allow that.
You.
What do you mean? Explain. Fine, then I shall reveal it all.
Let's make history.
Within the final dead room, I discovered the secret of the funhouse, and I devised a killing plan utilizing that secret. By tampering with all the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower. And this is what happened. Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, standing face to face with one another. Humph, I should say I expected as much from Nekomaru. He sensed my subtle killing intent and instantly understood the situation. And we had ourselves a stare down. In that situation, if he wanted to run away, it would have been easy for him to do so. He could have run away or even called for help, but he did not turn his back to me. Instead, he chose a fight that risked his life and death.
That is...
A fight that risked his life and death?
Let me tell you this.
He was serious, too. He gave it his all to try to kill me.
Huh?
Huh? If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would never know why I, the victim, went to the tower by myself.
I can see it!
Nobody would know that the victim, me, was actually the one who planned the whole thing.
Could it be?
Nekomaru really did that.
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
The scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
That's a great line.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might. I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back. Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you got!
Nekomaru Nidai, your blood will drench the foundation of my empire!
That is...
Why? Why did you fight? We are all friends. Why couldn't you stop this? Even if both sides agreed, it was still wrong. I will not argue. I have no intention of forcing my values upon you.
Let me tell you this.
However, I must say this. What's the point of living if you're just waiting until you finally die?
You weakling!
That's fair. That's valid. I agree with that. There's nothing courageous about that. That is abandonment. A mere feeling of resignation. Wait, are you telling us to just wait until we starve to death? I'd rather have that happen to us. And have our friends kill each other. Do you mean you'd rather die?
Fall, my tears.
Ever since we were locked inside that building, everyone had been dominated by that feeling of abandonment. However, nothing is born from resignation. That is simply a reason to give up.
If you flinch, you will die!
Giving up on life, that's just an insult to life itself.
Let me ask.
Have you fools heard of the term dog-eat-dog? Cannibalism?
Fine.
In zoology, cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures at some point in their lifespan engage in cannibalism.
Listen well!
That is what it means to live. If you say killing for the sake of living is evil, then what would you call giving up on life itself?
I shall engulf this world.
You know, he actually has a valid point. If a world would consider that justice, then I will fight that world with every last fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death is not but a blasphemy toward life. Is nothing but a blasphemy toward life.
I renounce you!
It is a violation of the natural order. It is the arrogance of humanity.
You.
Are you saying all that to try to justify what you did?
But
it sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. So that's why they fought, right?
Damn it.
Ugh.
Fine.
That man had the courage to die when he needed to die. That is why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, as I've already said, I do not intend to force my values upon you fools. I have betrayed you all. That is the absolute truth.
Fall, my tears.
But even so, don't you think it's a better alternative to slowly starving to death here?
Oh.
That belief is why you committed your crime.
You...
Why, hey, what about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too?
Let's make history.
Unlike Nagito, I only did it once, but compared to my battle with Nekomaru, that was mere child's play.
Well?
You know, after listening to you talk for a while, I'm starting to think that, well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without much resistance. Gundam, don't tell me you didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you? I cannot believe you would ask such a foolish question.
My name is Gundam Tanaka!
History's greatest monster. My cursed existence is feared by all mankind. There's no way I'd sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools.
Fade like dust in the wind.
Not in a million, not in a billion, not in 10 billion years. 10,000 billion years. In the name of pandemonium, it is impossible. Is that it? Then I'll just leave it at that. Now then, let us be rid of this foolish talk. It is time for it's about time the fun started. Monokuma, let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Yay, got it. I've prepared a special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka.
Please wait!
This is just too much.
I beg of you!
Please, Monokuma, please help Gundam.
Huh?
Miss Sonia.
I beg of you!
Please, I beg you.
How pitiful.
Sonia. An act as unrefined as stopping a man from going to his death does not befit a noble such as yourself. Gundam. It's fine to start for reals, right?
Fine.
Yes, I do not mind, however...
What is it, my four dark devas of destruction? Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared four dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete,
the sirens.
I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end, pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously! That is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end!
You know what? I respect you, Gundam. You're a bit of a loony, but I respect you.
Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
So I wonder what they're gonna do. For his execution, that is. Gundam has been found guilty. What? It's a stampede. Ultimate Breeder, Gundam Tanaka's execution. Trampled in a stampede, huh? An interesting way to go. I kind of agree with Sonia. He did sacrifice himself for them, didn't he? Even if he doesn't want to admit it. I'm going to end this episode here, though, so if you enjoyed it, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more content in the future. Until next time, everybody, have a good one. I'll see you later. Bye.